Okay, so this is all Swedish of the legs. Alright, so imagine this is your client, all covered up. I want to work this leg, so I've got to expose this leg. This is the side I want to work on. Alright, like I say, you've got a script, but we don't work to scripts. The script's just to get you working. So I'm creating now a barrier to work to.
Yeah.
Alright, and that's now my areas that I'm going to work. If I've got a pair of shorts on like this, I might get them just to take the shorts up a little bit to just expose that a little bit extra, but it's still maintaining decency, if you like.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is effleurage. So we're going to get some oil on and we're going to spread it up the leg. I can, if I want, I can effleurage the whole leg or just the portion I'm going to do, because I'll effleurage that portion after. Alright, but we can do the whole leg to get the oil out on there. So oil wise, that's probably enough to start with. Yeah, so on that there was just 2 pumps of it, and then I get it into all my hand, and then literally I'm trying to cover as much of the limb as I can. I'm going round the knee joint and then up the leg, slide it back down, because I want to spread that oil up, because the bulk of it's actually gone on the lower leg there. So I have got a bit of oil coverage. I don't want loads on, because then it's just like slipping and sliding. This is why like baby lotion's no good, because it just creates too much slide, and that's what we don't want. That's a nice slide on there at the moment. That's still a little bit dry, so I'm just going to take a little bit more, only a little bit there.
Yeah.
But that now will be enough to go straight onto there to now do the whole leg. So again, effleuraging, we're warming up, we're spreading the oil, but at the same time, I know it's Swedish, but at the same time I'm using this to look at the tissue quality of the leg. So that it's actually doing all the looking for me right now. Again, I'm following that barrier of the towel. I'm not pressing on any knee there, but this is what the bolster's for, because as I come up there, I'm still putting pressure down, but that's just to protect the back of the knee, protect the back at the same time. Yeah. So I'm spreading up, going back down, getting full coverage. As I pass the knee, my hands are turning, because this is a lot more meatier muscle than anything here.
Yeah.
So I don't need to be as pressurised on here, come up there, but it's all about relaxation, Swedish. It's not about sports, pressure, putting right through the deep tissues. It's all superficial. So I'm sweeping it up, coming back down. So I'm going to do approximately 6 of them, alright? And then I'm going to go to a different technique and just concentrate on the top portion of the leg now. Alright, and this is kind of what the class is a single palm and knee. What I think it simulates is a crab pincer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the action we're looking at. So I'm thumb over thumb at the joints, and that's my pivot point. Yeah. So I'll call it a crab pincer.
Yeah.
That's what it's simulating. Yeah, but it's actually called palm and knee, single hand palm and knee. So from there, I'm getting hold of the tissues and I'm lifting them, bringing them together. But if you notice my body action, my arms aren't moving. It's all through my legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Because if I stand still and I'm doing this now, all the little muscles are having to work really hard. Whereas, if I'm doing that, the only muscles that are working is the muscles to make my hands come in. Everything else is coming from my legs. So I'm going to bring that all the way around, and I'm literally trying to, technically I'm pulling the muscle up in between. So I'm doing that action. And I'm getting right around all the muscles of the quads, doing the same thing. And then from that, nice fluid motion, I'm going to step in now. And exactly the same thing now, double hand. So now I'm really like a crab. That's where the crab pincer bit comes in. So now I've got a body sway, side to side.
Right.
I'm not leaving contact with the skin at all. If I want to come down this side, squat down, come back up, come to the inside, just keeping that little sway going, nice and steady. And again, we're not trying to drive in, yeah, we're just trying to get hold of the tissues to pick them up a bit.
Right, yeah.
And that's us working away there. So again, I'm not going to spend ages doing it, because it's Swedish of the legs. I've got about 7 minutes to do this. The whole front of the leg.
Right.
Yeah, so I've got to not get cracking a little bit. Yeah, so it's not like I've spent ages. And on the next thing ages. It's literally boom, boom, boom. We do it.
Right.
Okay. So I'll just work it all. And then from there we're going to go into a ringing action. So you know, a bit like if you've ever had a Japanese burn
Yeah.
on your wrist, it's a similar thing, but I'm just using, well, it's not similar, but similar action. It's using the finger and the thumb and the fleshy bit in between. So I'm looking to turn my hands out, put on a little bit of pressure now to push down. It's just that little ringing. So I'm actually, if I use my thumbs to try and simulate it, it's doing that.
Yeah.
I'm using the web of my hand. So I'll work my way up the muscle, down the outside. I'm still on rec fem there. Come round the outside. Work where I can. And then from there I'm going to go into a lymphatic roll, lymphatic drainage. Because everything I've done up to now has been moving fluid from inside the muscle fibres. So now we want to clear this area. Because when I do this area, it's free to flow into.
Right.
Alright, now you've got a lesson on lymphatic system coming up, which I'll explain that a little bit more detail what's actually happening. So from there now, it's kind of a pick up and roll. So you can literally thumbs behind, fingers in front. I'm literally getting hold and pulling my thumb so you can see the tissues all squeezing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pushing that towards my fingers. Just as I'm about to get there and lose it, move my hands and then squeeze it all the way down the centre, or as close to the centre of the leg as I can get, because that's where the bulk of the lymphatic drainage is.
Yeah, up to pulmonary.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it's ultimately it's going to take it back to the
Yeah.
bloodstream. So I want to thing here. Again, I've got that natural barrier of the towel. So what I can do is, as I come up, I'm just going to push to follow the towel, come back down, and sweep that round, nice and steady. So I've done 2 of them. I'm now going to go into a little bit of light hacking. So this is a real loose hand. So you can imagine doing karate chop, real loose fingers though. We're not making them rigid because that's solid, that hurts. Want them nice and relaxed. So I'm just nice and lightly hacking. Got to come down, squat down so I can get down the outside. So again, what you might find is you've got one hand that works perfectly normal for you and the other hand wants to do its own thing. That's usually because you're not accustomed to doing it. So the best thing I can say is when you're at home watching the telly, put a pillow on your lap and start hacking the pillow. And lo and behold, after a little bit of time, both hands will work perfectly well. Okay, then from that we're going to go into a cupping. So it's literally get a nice solid cup of the hand, so it's solid. So we're trying to create, if you like, a vacuum. Alright, so you get a bit of a pop sound going on, as opposed to a slap. Yeah, so you've got to keep that cup. It's a bit like if you've seen them do the vacuum and where they put the jar on the back and they heat it so it pulls it up. It's a similar kind of action that they're doing. So now we've got that little cup going. If the towel comes in the way, you've just got to cup over it and that. So I've got a nice little cupping action going. That's nice and straightforward. And then from there, I'm going to come straight back into a little bit of effleurage just to finish that leg off. And then I'm going to come down now. Now the big problem you can also get is, this is why sometimes I just work on the upper leg first and then come to the lower leg, and I'll start again effleurage it up, because the oil I've put on there now is quite soaked in now. Still a little bit there, but I could just do a little bit more on there. So I'm just going to get a little bit of oil. just effleurage all that up. Now I'm coming up to the knee now, but I'm cupping round the knee. So I'm just going around it. So now, because I'm putting pressure here, this is where I want my other little towel now, just to pack up that ankle there. So there's a bit of give there now, where before if I'd put pressure on it, it'd be wanting to do that to the foot, yeah, because we're putting a lot of pressure through it. Now there's a bit of protection there for it. Okay, so I'm going to effleurage up, and then from there I'm going to start doing a little bit round the actual patella. So I can now do some like little thumb circles, sweep it round. So again, it's quite therapeutic. It's quite relaxing for somebody. Bring that all the way down. Great stuff. Right round the patella. And then from there, all I'm going to do is I want to just slide my hand under, hold the ankle, I'm just going to bend that leg up. Right? At which point I want to just sit on the bed. I'm not actually crushing the foot or sitting on the foot, but I'm just putting enough there to stop the foot coming out. Because now I'm just going to do a little bit of a squash. I'm just going to lean back and just squash the calf a little bit. I'm not, pulling this on really hard. We're just squashing the calf against the back of the leg. And then from there I want to support the leg with one hand. With the other hand I want to do what they call a pick up and catch. So I'm squeezing it and I'm pulling off. So you see the muscle then just drop down. So I'll get a bit of a squeeze on and then pull off. I can change hands and work from that side. No different. And then from there we're going to a zigzag, I do believe. Catch to straighten the leg, and then a thumb knee down the tibialis anterior. So with a bit of a push back. So it's kind of like a zigzag down. So tibialis anterior, which is the muscle in between the tibial bone and the fibula. So it's just a little, it's only a little, it doesn't go very wide. So I'm literally tracing it there between my thumbs. So now it's just that little bit of pressure on, little zigzag, my hands around the back of the calf. Zigzag that down. Push back up. Again, zigzag down. Not loads of pressure, because it's all about relaxation. Push that back up. I might perform about 3 of them. Okay. If they're quite a big person and there's quite a lot of calf showing, what you can do is just roll the foot out like that. Just expose the medial part of the calf muscles, and you can just put a little bit of a light hack on there. Again, it's just light, it's only therapeutic. And from there we're going to roll it back and we're going to effleurage the lower leg then, just to finish that bit off. Right, so that's that bit. From there we'll rock it into doing the foot. So I've got that there for you. So the foot, you're going to effleurage the whole foot to finish. This is where you can employ different techniques here. It depends what your customers like. So I'll stick to the kind of script you've got, and if any additions I would do, I'll throw them in as well. Okay, so from there, effleurage the whole feet, so we'll get it oiled up on the hands. Now I'm looking for hand above, hand below, and I'm not losing pressure. Okay, so in a hygiene point of view, if you were doing this on a client that had just come in, it may be wise to use a wipe and just give the feet a little clean. You know, at the end of the day, there's a hygiene issue for yourself. Okay, so a little bit of effleurage on that, and then from that we've got a bit of a 2 fingers, 2 hand minute circles around the medial and lateral malleolus. So again, hand by its side, 2 fingers, a little bit of a rotation around the malleolus. Now I've got a little addition. If for some reason they are tight, not relaxing, what we can do is palm of your hand, drop it below the malleoluses like that. And you just use your palms then, it relaxes everything down.
Right.
So that's quite a good one. We'll get a little toe wave at ourselves. Okay, and then I can go back to, because sometimes people are a bit, when you start working around the feet, they tighten up a little bit, stiffen up. So I just drop down. If I felt any tightness, just do that to them a little bit.
Yeah.
They'll relax down, then I come back to, and all I'm doing is just holding the foot in between my hands and just finger kneading around those malleoluses. Okay, and then from there we're going to come down the metatarsals. So I'm just going to roll your foot in a little bit in, that's it, just so you can see a bit easier. So from there, the little metatarsals are spanning that range there. These are all part of your carpals, tarsals I should say, not carpals. These are my metatarsals. So from there, just a little thumb knead coming down them, likewise down the next one, down the next one.
Is your tarsals part of your foot or part of your ankle?
Well, part of your ankle really.
Right, yeah.
But wait, there's 2 different joints going on there,
Right.
because you've got a hinge joint and then you've got a gliding and sliding joint.
Right.
So your true ankle joint isn't all your tarsals, it's from there to there,
Ah, right.
and then that's another joint in itself,
Right.
but we'll be covering that in the next lesson. Okay, and then from there we've got a nice zigzag to the sole of the foot. So again, this is a bit more awkward, so I could turn like this and I can get underneath and I can real zigzag down it. So I'm just holding the foot with my fingers and getting a zigzag to the palm of the foot, if you like.
Right.
And then zigzag it back up. Personally, that's a bit awkward. You could do that better from the other side, from the face down. Or one I really like is into that, get the knuckles working. So from that, real knuckle into that. The more pressure you put on, the less ticklish it is. Okay, not dwell on that too long, and then a bit of effleurage to finish.
So that's like your warm up and your like your
Finish,
cool
yeah.
down really, your what?
Yeah, and that's your Swedish massage of the anterior leg. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what. Okay.
Yeah, it says recording now.
Right, that's magic. Right, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to look at the arm to start with. So we're still on Swedish, alright, but it's just the things we're going to do on the arm now for Swedish. Basically, we apply pretty much the same in the sports anyway, but it would just be a lot more force. So we'll literally look at the Swedish. So if you can imagine your client on the bed wants to totally chill, alright, so they've come, don't want to talk to you, they just want a total relaxation massage. So what we have to do is move the limb all the time. Right? So what we've got to think about is joints. So making sure joints are protected, supported all the time. So our first bit obviously is we have to put some oil on. We need to apply our oil. So with the arm by the side, alright, I'm just going to bring that to the side of the bed. Now hopefully it might still pick it up, but all I'm going to do is just get a bit of a spread. So I'm trying to just spread the oil to cover all the arm. Okay. If I need to get a little bit more on there, I can just apply that as well. So I might just even lift the arm up now. So notice I'm round the joint, so it's supported, and just spread the oil all over, just to still get into there. And now we're pretty much good to go. So this is kind of where I really start my massage. So I'm just kind of just gently holding the wrist and we're kind of warming it up. So we're going into effleurage. Alright, so I'm on that asymmetrical stance, using my body weight again. So coming up the arm, back down. So I'm trying to let the big muscle groups of the body do the work. Okay, so we're just following it up. I'm not putting no pressure as I run over the joint, but I'm pressuring up there. Pressure, ease off. pressure back up, and it's not a lot of pressure because it's all about relaxation. It's all about what your client would want. From there, as I sweep down, I'm going to take the arm, I'm just going to step in, let the hand rest against me, I'm supported. From there we're going into a knead. So you remember that crab pincer? Yeah? So it's a bit of a crab pincer knead now, onto the bicep, working the whole bicep. And if I want to, I can use this hand to do the other side, but that's a little bit uncomfortable for me. So from there, as I crab pincer there, I take hold of the joint, I come with my other hand. Same kneading action, crab pincer work. Yeah, onto the tricep now. Come back, support the elbow. So all the time I've never took my hand off that elbow. One hand's took over from the other. Okay, so I'm kneading that, just getting it nice and loose, nice relaxing knead. And then from there I can put in a what we call a pick up and catch kind of thing. So I'm squeezing to pull off, squeeze to pull off, squeeze to pull off. Now you can, yeah, just like that. Now you can incorporate the two together, you know, so I could do a bit of kneading, a bit of pull off and catch, you know, just link the two together, and then back to that. So I might knead, pull off and catch. Although we're not catching as such on this, we're just letting it drop, so really it should be pull off and drop. Okay, and then back to there. Magic. And then I'm going to move down now to the elbow. So now I'm still supporting. I've kind of got the hand pinned a little bit there. My hand supporting just underneath the elbow joint, so there's no hyperextension of the elbow joint, you know, so it's not putting a lot of pressure on that olecranon process at the back. And all I'm going to do now is just some little finger kneading round the actual joint now. So it's just nice and little circle, so that's all I'm doing, just little circle action going round the joint. Okay, and that's great. And then from that, I'm not going to spend ages doing that. Okay, it's just loosening the little area around the joint a little bit, just working those muscle insertions that are there. And then from there, hands back supporting. I've come down, let the arm come down to rest on the bed. I'm into that position now, so I've now got a bit of a 90 degree there. Now I'm going to start a kneading action on the forearm. So it's that crab again, crab pincer, yeah? Both hands are working. And I'm going to work the full arm. You're a bit tight down there, Sonia. You'll feel that one, Karen. A little bit of tightness, so if this was sports massage, we'd be into that in a bit, but it's not, so it's just safe today. That's it. So I've just got that nice little kneading action going on all the way down. Our arm's nice and stable because it's onto the bed and then resting onto me. I would pick the lower bed, wouldn't I? Not my ideal height, this bed for me. Okay. And at the same time as I'm doing it, I'm actually still working the back of the hand as well, or back of the arm I should say. So it's getting a full knead going. Does that feel nice, that Sonia? You can speak.
Don't speak.
Okay,
Yes, lovely, thank you.
Magic. And then from that point then, what we're going to do is, we're going to slide up. I've took hold of the hand between both. I'm going to just roll it over into that position. And then from there, I'm just going to do some nice little thumb kneads on the joint itself. So onto the carpals now. So we're just really coming nice and gently across it. And then from that, I'm then going to go down the fleshy part in between the metacarpals. So again, it's just a thumb little knead. Just loosening and taking a little bit of the tension of the days of life out of there. Yeah, and then down that one, and then down the other. So all the time the hand's just supported underneath by my other hand. And again, that's it. And then from there, I'm just going to hold the knuckle. So I've got a finger underneath, finger over the top to hold the knuckle. And we're actually now going to give the phalanges, a little massage. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come down the top of the finger, push up the sides, because if I pushed up the top there's potential the finger to bend, could end up hurting them, and it's all about relaxation. So we're coming down the finger, up the sides, down the finger, up the sides. Okay, do that on every finger. Some people find this very therapeutic, very relaxing. Until you've experienced it, you don't know.
Tickles.
Tickles. Okay, and then from there I go back to underneath, roll the hand. So I'm doing it in a nice controlled manner. It's nice and relaxing for the client. Just going to open the hand up, and then I can thumb knead now into the fleshy part of the hand. Okay. That's it. Just bit of thumb knead there. Great. Okay, and then you can imagine I've done that for a little bit. Take back hold of the hand, roll it over, take it to the bed. Just a nice little gentle grip just around the wrist area, and then I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of effleurage. Back to that asymmetrical stance, body weight again. Okay, so I'm going to do about 4 to 6 of them just to finish off with. We're not spending long on the arm, just a 4-minute cycle. Okay, so we're going to quick look at the abdomen now. So obviously, as you can see, we've got towels. So we've got 2 towels over our client, so we can, a bit like, is it Moses that parts
the sea?
Yeah, so we're going to part the towels. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is if I take this towel, roll it up. Now, all being well, bottom towels is fully up, so I can bring this all the way up and then ultimately to there. That's it. Alright, bottom towel, I'm just going to tuck in. So now we've got our exposed belly. So nice abdomen massage. Okay, so one thing to be very conscious of, belly piercings, because what we don't want to do is catch them and potentially rip them or anything like that. Right? So we haven't got a big area to work. So it's not like when we're doing the leg or anything like that, where you can really work it. This is a little area. Alright, very good for people with constipation, or because we're going to work the actual colon. Alright. Right. So let's pinch that oil. So our first bit is to actually apply some oil again. So again, I'm just looking for what we call an effleurage, but it's like in a kind of diamond. So we're going up, out to the sides and back in. So it's kind of that kind of shape we're doing, yeah? So from there, I'm just going to turn the hands out, come up, to the towel gives me that natural barrier.
Okay.
Take that out, round to the sides, and then come back in, right up the hip bones. Yeah, so I'm coming up the hip bones like that. Take it back up, roll the hands out, back up the hip bones. So this is where small hands come in good. Bigger the hands, the harder this little bit is. So yeah, so I'm just going to apply that. Okay, so again I'm going to do about 6 of them. I'm just going to put a little bit more oil on.
Do you feel any muscles?
Oh yeah, I can feel the muscle tone. I can see the muscle tone actually.
I'm surprised.
So get the oil spread there. Happy enough? Yeah. So from that then we can go into a little bit of a knead. So I can, just a little bit of a knead. So onto the side. So it's that little crab pincer. So again, it's a small area, so we can't really work it. Yeah, so it's literally just little movement. So this is kind of now where the little muscles have got to work. Yeah, our forearms. We can't use the body to get that sway going. Yeah, so I'm literally relying on that. I'm going to just bring it up to the top a little bit. Come over to the other side. And then I'm going to drop down to just be positioned so I can do the other side of them. Okay. Then from there we're going to go into a colon one hand push. So we're following that colon pattern. Okay, so it's just one hand across to come round to come back and back, which is a kind of natural pattern for your colon underneath, really. Okay, and then we'll do a bit of that. So we're probably looking for about 6 of them again. And then I'll bring it into a 2 hand. So as one hand pushes, the other hand comes in. So now there's always going to be one hand of contact. If that front hand comes off, comes back on. Front hand comes off. That one goes, this one follows it again. So we've got that 2-handed push bit on the across the actual belly. Happy enough? And then from there we're going to go into what we call a knuckling. Alright, so it's another kneed action, but it's that knuckling action there. So the best way to do this is for your hand to rest, so it's that action, so it's loosening. This is where you've got to be very careful now. Okay, so I'm coming over. You're doing exceptionally well there, Sonia.
Tickling.
Don't forget to breathe.
Yeah.
It's tickling.
Okay, I'm nearly there, I'm just demonstration purposes. Okay, so we do that again. Bit of a speeded up action now.
That is tickling.
Okay. And then from there we're going to come into a ringing. So do you remember ringing on the leg? So same principle now. So where we've got a bit of flesh at the side now, so we've got all the obliques in there. Get the web of the hand in, same thing. So I've got to push in a little bit here, and it's that little action again. So it's a loosening action down. I've not got a big space to work. Same onto this side. Okay. And then from there, back to that diamond effleurage. Just to finish it off. And it's as simple as that. And that's a nice little abdomen routine. Right, so what we're going to look at this time is Swedish massage, chest, shoulders, trapezius or upper trapezius and the neck region, rectospinae portion of the neck. For this you can be sat down, but there'll be times where you're standing back up and coming back down. If you've had your client with the pillar already underneath the neck and head, what you need to do now is move the pillar back, so we've got this gap where we can now get our hands under, and I should be able to get right up to the occipital bone where the neck comes up and you suddenly feel the base of the skull, so that I should be clear to get to all that. So first thing we're going to do is obviously get a little bit of oil on. I'm just going to get it onto my fingers because this is the bit that's trickiest to get, so I can just get it in onto the neck there. So I'm just really spreading my oil a little bit now. I'm going to get a little bit more on. That's it. So now all we're doing is effleuraging the neck, coming down. We're just going to be careful of the clavicles. So as we sweep down like that, we need to really try and lift the little fingers out of the way so the rest of the hand will follow. Coming out across the top of the chest, round the shoulders, so I'm pivoting on the palm of the hand on the shoulder joint, pivoting round to sweep the hands right back underneath the shoulder to come all the way up the neck. And I'm coming right up the neck. Drop my elbows down so my hands turn, so I can start to come down the muscles of the neck here, down the sternocleidomastoid. Let that little finger come out, right across the chest, back out round, sweep that round. So I'm looking to do about 6 of them. And then from there, this time as I sweep down and I come onto the chest, I'm going to put in some little bit of circular motion now onto the pectoral muscles. Round the deltoid, anterior, middle fibres, posterior. Into the trapezius, the upper trapezius. And then you can circle up, rectospinae still to the base of the skull, or you can kind of do an alternate pull up it, a few of them, then sweep back down again, so you're not pressing into the neck, because otherwise you might cut off the circulation a little bit. So it's just a bit of pressure, come down, roll over, nice circular motions, round the deltoid again. Again, you do about 6 of these, up the neck, and then from that point what we're going to look to do is turn the head. What I'm not going to do is clamp my hand right against the head. I'm going to kind of cup it round the ear. And all I'm going to get my client to do, I'll get him to turn to his right. So if you turn to your right, Mark, that's it, great. So you let them turn the head, because they can turn it as far as comfortable. And straight away you can see that sternocleidomastoid stand right out. I've still got my hand cupped, so I'm not crushing his ear or anything, but I can still control the head with my fingertips to stop it moving. This is where I'm going to stand up now, and I'm going to sweep down the sternocleidomastoid. Once I get to the chest, I'm going to come out across the shoulder, and what I'm trying to do now is push the shoulder that way. So I'm stretching everything out at the same time. At the same time, I'm using my fingertips underneath just to keep the head in position. So squeeze that, still pivot round, and now as I pull back, I'm going to use my body weight to come right up that trapezius and into the top portion of erector spinae there. Come back, drop my elbow down, sweep down the body, apply that pressure, stretch it out, roll it round, pull back. So we're getting nice lengthening of the muscle. I'm going to turn them back. Normally we do about 6 of them. I'm just going to balance them off onto the other side. And then from this one, so you'll see it from this side now, sweep it down, out across, and then I move my body weight to pull right up. I'm not going over the ear. I'm stopping at the ear to turn back, so as I come back, it naturally turns my hand. Go back down, extend the shoulder, sweep it round to come back up. Body back to the middle, drop the elbow down, sweep that out, and then come back up. Imagine I've done 6 of them. I'm going to come back to the middle, and now I'm going to come back down the sternocleidomastoid, little finger up, come over the top of the clavicles, some circular frictions again, out over the deltoid, into the trapezius, and up the back of the neck. Again, I might do about 6 of them again, and then just back to normal effleurage. Again, something you need to do is take your time with this one, because it is very therapeutic. Clients like this, because most people at some point suffer with a bit of a stiff neck, so it's quite a nice relaxing one for them. And then at this point we're ready to turn the client over. So we're back to the posterior leg now. Alright, you can start gassing again in a minute. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is get back to a bit of effleurage. So again, I'm back to 2. Alright, effleurage the whole leg. Plenty of oil on. Shut up, you're on video now.
Oh, you're on video?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm getting the whole leg effleurage, same action. No different. Get that rocking going, but my hands are coming up, round, because I don't want to be driving straight over that, because I'm going to put a lot of pressure straight through onto the patella. Yeah, so I'm going to sweep up and come across. So I'm full coverage, right down each side, and as I come to the knee joint, round I go, same thing again. All the way up. We're looking to come up to about the up crease line. Alright. So same principle again, once I've effleuraged, back into upper leg. That single hand, so it's pretty similar to what we do on the front of the leg. Right. So we're working all the same area, and then from there we're going into that double hand. So again I get that nice rock going. Trying to get my hands as much like that as I can to get hold of the tissue in between, try and squeeze it up, and then same again, into that ringing action. So I'm going to ring the whole leg, nice and steady, and then into lymphatic roll. So I'm trying to get hold, tissue, move it around. So it's no different up to now, exactly the same. This is where we're going to change a little bit. Now we can link the next 2 together. So the next bit is all about beating of the buttocks and hacking of the leg. So I link the whole lot together. So this is where coordination definitely comes in, because I start light hacking the whole leg, and at the point I want to hit the buttocks, go to beat. So I don't have a clenched fist, I have a loose fist. Yeah, so I'm hacking, take it to a beat, beating the whole of the buttocks, I come back into hacking, as I come back up, back into beating, and then back into hacking again. Now because I'm doing them, linking them together, I'll put a few in there. Right around the leg, back into that, bring it back, then back into cupping to finish off. And then that's kind of that bit of the leg done. Back to whole effleurage again. Just got to make sure this leg's fully on there so it's protected the ankle. So I'm flying through this one a little bit quicker now. So now we're back onto the lower leg. So all we're going to do is effleurage the whole leg, or I could just do that portion because that's what I'm working now. So I can just effleurage that bit up now. Then again I'm going to go straight into a two-hand crab pincer, if you like, a palm and knee on this one, because that's quite big, so we're really working it independently now, a bit smaller, so I can get both straight into it. Don't need to do a single hand as well. You can do a single hand if you wanted. You could put that in, so it's duplicated, so it's exactly the same, makes life a little bit easier. And then from there we're going to do an alternate thumb, zigzag action down the calf, so it's fingers under, just like you did down tibialis anterior, right down the calf. Once I clear the muscle of the calf, I'm going to do a nice push through, straight up it, so I'm splitting the two heads,
Right, yeah.
gastrocnemius. Okay, so back to that thumb need coming down, take it back up. So I'm going to have a few sweeps of that. So I've linked them two moves together, doing that. And then from there I'm going into a little bit of a hacking of the calf now. Nice and straightforward. And then to finish off with that, while they're in this position, you could zigzag the foot, yeah, or you can knuckle the foot. But if you've done it the other way around, you can omit that bit now.
Yeah.
And then from there, just effleurage the whole leg to finish off. And that's Swedish at the posterior of the leg. Very, very similar to the anterior, but you know, it's just done on the posterior. So that's the kind of fundamentals of doing the leg of Swedish. So we're now going to look at the Swedish massage of the back. This is therapeutic. It's the best part of Swedish massage for the client. So this is the bit we really need to concentrate on. Hence we're going to spend about 15 to 18 minutes on this, but I'm going to kind of fly through this relatively quick. So obviously we expose the back, our client nice and comfortable. What's nice and comfortable for them to be in. What we're going to look to do then is effleurage the oil onto them. So literally I'm turning my hands to try and get as much coverage as possible out to the shoulders and come back down. Bring it up, trying to get coverage of that oil all over the body. Again, I'm in that asymmetrical stance. I'm using my body weight, so I'm allowing my body to do the work rather than the little muscles of the arms. So I'm going to do a bit of effleurage there, trying to get that full coverage as possible, bringing it round, so I'm turning on the scapulars to come all the way back down the side of the body, to come back up the obliques here, and the iliac crest and the glutes, medium min. Again, I'm going to do about 6 of those. I want to do them relatively slow, but I am increasing the pressure a little bit. Now pressure's very personal to the client, so it's always good to ask the client how much pressure they like, and then either decrease or increase accordingly. But it is Swedish massage and it is about relaxation. It's not sports massage at the moment. So from that, as I sweep up, I'm going to step up with it. I'm going to hand over hand. Then I'm going to do a little figure of 8 now around the scapulas. So we're just starting to work the muscles a little bit. The small muscles around the scapula themselves. So again, I'm looking for about 6 to 8 times I'm going to go around this. And then from that, I'm going to go straight into kneading, just working this side only. So as I come round the scapula, I'm going to come straight into that kneading action. So I'm trying to squeeze, just like a crab does, that crab pincer. Again, let my body do the work, because the little muscles are having to work the fingers now. So we're getting hold of all the soft tissue we can. Going to come round, still go into the traps a little bit. There. And then as I'm coming back up, so I'm doing this relatively quick just for the sake of the camera. We obviously do this a lot slower. So as I've come up, I'm going to do a little lateralization. So I can lateralize down the body. Come back up, and as I get back up, I'm going to go back into some little circular friction on the top of the scapula into infraspinatus, little rotator cuff muscle. So I need to understand where that scapula is positioned when my client's got his arms up like they are, because they're going to move. Once I've done my little finger circles, I'm going to go back into a little lateralization, back down the body. So I'm pushing with the hip, starting with the fingers. As the fingers come off the body, so I'm keeping my hand flat, my heels already, of the hands already coming on. As soon as that's going, the other one's working behind it. So I've already shown you this in the class, so that's just a reminder. So as I've gone down and come back up, I'm now going to go into a thumb roll, and we're going to come down round the scapula, come across the top of the trapezius, and then I'm going to work my way down erector spinae. And what you should be seeing is like a tidal wave effect as my thumbs are rolling. So there's a bit of a, you can see the rise because of the pressure I'm putting on. So I'm going to work my way down, turn, go out and across the iliac crest. Then I'm going to work backwards and then come back up erector spinae. Into the upper trapezius, out across towards the posterior deltoid and the little muscles of the rotator cuffs on the outside of the scapula. Come round that inferior angle of the scapula, back up to where we meet the vertebrae, and then from there I'm going to go back into a lateralization down that one side. Now what I'm going to do, when I get to the bottom, I'm going to go back into an effleurage. So I'm going to effleurage a couple of times the whole back, but this time as I effleurage up, I'm going to step up, turn, effleurage back down, back up, back down, and at this point now I'm going to effleurage down and step back down. And at which point I'm going to move the camera now. So we're now back to, because we've just effleuraged down, so I can effleurage again. I don't necessarily need to do a figure of 8 again, because we've already done that, but I could, if I want to, go back into it. Figure of 8 again. Straight into kneading. That's what I could have done, so I could have missed that out and gone straight back into kneading onto this side. So I'm going to try and speed this up just a little bit now. And then from me kneading, as I come up, I'm going to go back into those little finger circles in the infraspinatus, rotator cuff muscle on the scapula. And then from that I'm going to just go into a little lateralization down the body. So it's literally from erector spinae, not the vertebrae, erector spinae. I'm not making contact with the vertebrae at all, but it's that heel of the hand, fingertip to heel, fingertip to heel. As I come up to scapular height, I'm going to start going into my finger rolls again now, coming out towards the edge of the scapula, out along the lat and the little rotator cuffs, up, posterior deltoid, into trapezius, and now I'm going to start back down. And again, I'm looking for as much coverage as I can get with those thumbs. Rather than just my thumb tip, I'm trying to get a full spread. When I get to the bottom, out across the iliac crest, and then we're going to bring it back. Now I am doing this relatively quick because it's more for demonstration purposes. Back up into the trapezius, roll it out into the delt, into the lat. I'm going to come back up when I've come around that inferior angle of the scapula, back into a lateralization. At which point now I'm going to effleurage the whole back. Now there's a couple of little moves I can still do now. So from here now I'm going to go into a gentle shear. So this is pulling up with this hand and pushing with that hand. And I'm just going to work my way all the way up the back. Nice and slow, nice and steady. Again, I could do a couple of passes of this. Up and down, up and down, up and down, like that. And then as I've come back down, another little technique is a little bit like the crab pincer, but it's just finger and thumb working now, and it's just working on erector spinae. I'm not actually going over the vertebrae. I can bring this all the way up, at which point I can take it off into the neck. So we've got that bit of a crab pincer, so it's just that last added little touch. I'm going to bring it back down. Again, you could do a couple of sweeps of this. And then from there back into my effleurage. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to effleurage and step up. Going to effleurage down, getting full spread of my hands again. As I'm starting to get down to the lower lumbar region, I'm going to let the hands turn, let the thumbs come in. I'm going to find those sacral holes and just give a nice little element of friction into that. Sweep back up with a bit of pressure. Effleurage back down, let the hands turn into the sacral holes. Sweep back up. Could do it again, but now I'm starting to decrease that pressure now. Still effleuraging no different, but the pressure's starting to decrease because I'm starting to bring it to a close. So as it's going, every time I'm getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Still maintaining that same speed though. It's nice and steady. So it's really light. And it will be at this point as I come down, I would take my towel. This is just a short one we've got. I would pull it back up over my client. And then from that point, I can just put my hands on. The heat generated from my hands working on them will now penetrate through, and it just puts that final finishing touch to your Swedish massage.